Okay, we're going to draw the leg piece next. So what I'm going to do, just like we did before, I'm going to click on the rectangle tool and just right over here, it doesn't matter where at all, just somewhere over to the right of the top piece. I'm just going to draw the rectangle. I'm going to tell the machine I want it to be 11 inches wide, comma 8 1/4, so 8.25 inches long. So there's my rectangle. If you're not sure how big it is, again, you can click on the dimensioning tool. That's 11, and that's 8 1/4. And so I know I got it the right size. And now what I want to do is I want to pull it up. We're going to use, again, 3/4 inch material. So I'm going to pull it up 0.75. Just push pull tool and then just type in 0.75. And it's laying down. I need to get this thing standing up. I want to have it rotated, as it were, up so I can fit it underneath my top piece right there. So, which is simple to do. You just click on it 4 times. You select all the surfaces and edges, everything. I'm going to go ahead and click on the rotate tool, which is right there. I'm going to click on this bottom corner, and you see how the protractor turns blue. Then I can get it to turn red. I bet I could get it to turn green at some point somewhere. Anyway, you want in this case to be red. I want the protractor on the end is what I want. Yet I want it to be, I don't want it to be green. I want to flip it like up. So let me show you. I'll just click right on that end point, and then you just drag out any distance you want on that same edge. The midpoint is fine. You can do any point at all, and I'll just click, and then you can just flip this thing straight up, and you go up till it says on the blue axis, and then you just click again, and I'll deselect. So there it is. Let me do that again. Watch. So I'm going to select the whole tool, the whole surface, all the surfaces, all the faces, all the edges. Click on the rotate tool. I'll get this so it's right on that corner, and I don't want it on the bottom. I don't want it on this face. I want it on this edge right here, because I'm going to flip this thing, up this way. So I'll just go ahead and click right there at the end point, drag out any distance at all, click again on the same edge, and then you just pull it up until it says it's on the blue axis. Then I'll just stop and I'll deselect it. And there I've got my leg piece standing where I want it. Now I can work on it and not to worry about, it's going to be tough to flip later because there's not going to be too many straight edges on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my tape measure tool, start drawing some marks on here. So when I take my tape measure tool, I'm going to, from right there on the top edge, I'm going to pull in 1.5 inches, so 1.5 inches. Makes a little mark right there. I'll do it again here on the top edge. Bring it in 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to draw an arc. I want to make these legs like arced, kind of like my top was. So I'm going to draw an arc starting from the very bottom, ending at the very top, and I'll push it out. Again, a 1/4 inch bulge on that thing. A 1/4 inch is good because it doesn't let the arc leave the workpiece. So again, I'll start there, that bottom part, click right there, and I'll push this out 1/4 inch, 0.25 or 1/4. Okay, so I've got the path that my arc is going to take at this point. I also want to put a little circle down here so I know it makes it look like the stuff still has 4 legs instead of just 2. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on the circle tool. I'll find the center point, the midpoint, and I'll drag it up. I'll drag it to 1.5 inches. It's going to be a 3-inch radius. I'll drag it up, and as you can see, it's at 3 inches across here. I'm just going to erase that bottom portion now. So I'll just take my mouse and just click right there and get rid of that. Now I can go ahead and do all my pushing and pulling. I'll push that away. I can push that away, and I can push that away, or I can just say 0.75, and it'll push it away. So there's my one of my legs, and I can even delete my guides. These things right here if they bug you. I'm actually going to do some more guides here right now, so I'll click on my tape measure tool. I'm going to come in from that end 1 inch. So just come in. I'm not clicking, I'm just typing in 1 inch, and then I'm going to bring it down. Make sure it turns, in this case it's blue. It's on the blue axis. I'm going to do 1 inch again, and I'll come down 1 inch again. So I've got to measure it over an inch, down an inch, down an inch. Real simple measurements. I'll go ahead and bring this over, and I'll use my tape measure tool. Come over an inch. Oops. On that edge, so 1 inch. I'll go down an inch off that guide point. I'll go down an inch, and off that guide point, down an inch. So I just found another point over here. So 1 inch over, 1 inch, 1 inch. And these are going to be to mark out my screw holes to hold this thing together. So from that guide point there, and I got to make sure I do it on the face of this thing. I don't want to do it. It's got to be, that circle's got to stay green. So from that guide point, I'm going to bring out a circle. I want to go out 3/16 radius. This is just like we did on your wall rack. So I'm going to go ahead and put a circle right here. I've got to make sure that thing turns green. Make sure that the circle is on the green axis. I'll drag it out, say 3/16. And I will do the same over here. 2 3/16 inch or 3/8 inch radius circles. Make sure it is green. There it is. And I'll say 3/16. I'll do that one there at 3/16. And then I'm going to go ahead and put, now in the middle of these guys, I'm going to go ahead and put another circle. We'll do that. This will be, the outer one is going to be our clearance hole, our counter bore, and the inner one's going to be our clearance hole. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get that guy to stay green there. There he goes. And I'll drag it out to, we'll do 1/16 inch radius on that one. And the same down here. We'll go 1/16. Move over here. And I'll do the same on the top, 1/16. Click and say 1/16. I'll do the same at the bottom, 1/16. 1/16. So I've got my clearance hole in the middle and my counter bore out there. We'll put plugs in those later on. So I'm going to go ahead and push in my clearance hole. Push that in. Let's type in 0.75. If I did it right, I think I should be able to see right through. Yes, I can. I can see right through there. And then I'm going to go ahead and push this guy back 3/8 also, so 0.375, so half the distance. So that's how it should look right there. Do the same to all of these. Push this guy back first, 3/4 of an inch, put that guy back half the distance, 0.375 or 3/8, and I'll do the same on all of these. Oh, went the wrong way on that guy. Push that guy back 0.75 or 3/4, and this one back 0.375 or 3/8. And that's, I can delete my guides now. And that's how it should look. I can even see the smaller holes in the back. So there, you see how it looks. Okay, I'm going to zoom out. Drag my way over here. What I want to do now is I want to duplicate this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it again, the whole thing. Quadruple click, get every face, every edge, everything selected. And we'll just grab it by a convenient corner right there. We'll select the move tool, and then we'll grab by that corner, the end point. Now I can move it anywhere I want. I've got a hold of it by that corner, and I can move wherever I want. but I want to copy it because I'm going to need two. So I just hold down the control button. I think it's the command button on a Mac. And now I can move a copy of it wherever I want to. And it's the same exact copy. And I can just click and I'll deselect it. And now I've got two legs, two copies. All right, they're facing the same way though. So I want to go ahead and select this one. I want to flip it around. I need to rotate it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the rotate tool. I'm going to grab it by this guy here by the top endpoint. Just click anywhere along this edge, and I can just rotate him right around onto the red axis. Don't need to move it anywhere yet. That looks fine. And I'll put it where it goes in just a little bit.